Well, we're talking about the product rule for exponents, all right? The product rule for exponents. And what the product rule tells us is, if we take x to the a power times x to the b power, the answer we get will be x to the a plus b power. It says that if you're multiplying like bases, you can add the exponents together. Right? That's what the product rule says. Let's look and see a couple of examples of that. All right? Here's x to the third times x to the fifth. Are the bases the same? Yes, they're both x's. And so the answer to this will be x to the 3 plus 5 power, which is x to the 8th. All right? Here's another way to show multiplication with parentheses. So are the bases the same? Yep, they're both x's. So x to the 5th times x to the 7th is x to the 12th. All right? Why does it really work that way? Well, take the example of x squared times x to the 4th. X squared is really just x times x, right? And see how I put that in parentheses? X to the 4th is really x times x times x times x. That's 4 of them. And so what we have here, this is all multiplication. It's x times x times x times x times x times x, which is x to the 6th. So the product rule gives us a kind of a shortcut instead of having to write out all the x's in a row and then count them up. Right? That's how it works. Right? What happens is we start to get more complicated. See the 3 in front of the x and the 4 in front of the x? Those numbers are called coefficients. All right, I'm running out of room there, but they're called coefficients. And to start this problem, you should multiply the coefficients together. 3 times 4 is 12. And x to the 3rd times x to the 5th is x to the 8th. And so you'd get a final answer of 12x to the 8th. What happens if there's negatives involved? Well, this is a coefficient of negative 3. This is a coefficient of negative 2. So negative 3 times negative 2, that's positive 6, isn't it? X squared times x to the 3rd is x to the 5th. Okay? And finally, here's another one. Here's a negative 4 and a positive 3 as the coefficients. So negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. X to the 5th times x to the 12th is x to the 17th. All right? Good luck with your product rule.